Okay, so the first thing we have to do for this assignment is to get Logic Pro open and get our project set up. So I'm going to open Logic Pro. Now, if you've worked on another project that you've saved in Logic Pro, when it opens, it'll probably pull up a previous project. If that happens, go up to the drop-down menus and click on File and select a new project. I'm going to close this one. I don't need to keep it open, and I don't need to save it. Now, the next window that pops up, now you may see a window that has colored boxes instead of these small boxes, but either way, you want to select Software Instrument and Create. And that's going to create your software instrument that we're going to use here. Now, the next step is I would go ahead and go into our MIDI effects and click on MIDI effects, and we're going to select the chord trigger. And that's going to pull up our chord trigger window. If you want to make this window larger or smaller, you just grab the corner of it and drag. I don't think it really needs to be very big, so I'm going to leave it there. Now, the next step is you want to save this project. So if you go to File, select Save As, and then in the next window, type in your class period, your last name, your first initial, and just call this Logic number 1. Now, this next step is really important, the where. You want to save this to your desktop. So click where it says Logic, locate Desktop in the drop down, select Desktop, and then Save. After you do that, you should see the file you just saved on your desktop. I have a lot of stuff on mine, but here's the file. I'll click it and move it over here so that it's easy to see. Okay, now I'm going to let's go back to that window. Now, the next step is you want to go to your loop library, select Instrument, click All Drums, and if you want to filter by genre, you could do that. I think, let's see, we'll try some, or maybe not. The electronic pop might be good. So next, you just want to go through and listen to a number of these different drum loops. Now, you can listen to more than what I've done here. There's a lot to choose from, but I kind of like this one. So once you find one you like, click on it, drag it over into the workspace, and then drop it. And it's going to create a new track just for your drums. The next step is to activate your cycle bar so that this will repeat over and over. At this point, you can close your loop library, give you a little more room to work, and relocate your chord trigger if you want to do that. Now, if you're using your Launchpad and you click on the user button in the upper right corner, by pressing just one pad, it'll generate chords. So the idea with this assignment is that you want to listen to your drum beat and you want to just improvise some chords that go along with the drums. As you're doing it, think about some rhythmic patterns you can add. So the assignment should be 4 bars long. I would recommend that you find 4 chords that you want to use and use 1 chord per bar with a rhythmic pattern you come up with. So first, I'm just going to experiment by listening to the drum track and playing around with some chords. And when you come up with an idea that you like, the next step is to record it. To record in Logic, your record button is here at the top of the window. When I click record, it's going to give me 4 counts, and then the recording will start. So I'm going to click on the red button and record my harmonic track. And after I record it, it'll automatically begin playing it back to me. Now, if I like it, or you like it, you can keep it. If you don't like it, you can click on the region and just delete it, and then record again. Once you've got your harmonic track in place, there is another step that you want to do before this is finished. Because we're doing this in real time, remember, the thing about real time, it's great because it feels like you're really playing music, but it can also be rhythmically inaccurate. So we're going to want to quantize this before we finish. To do that, look towards the upper left of the window and look for this pair of scissors. Click on the scissors and you'll see at the bottom of the page that your harmony track will show up. What I'm going to do first is use my mouse, and I'm going to click and drag to select all of these data points. Next, if you notice over here, you have time quantize. I'm going to click where it says 16th note, and I think for this I'll choose 16th note. And when I click on that, you should notice that the data points here shift around so they line up with the grid. Go back and listen to it and see if you like the result. If you like it, then you're ready to save. If not, you can always go back and change it. Because these are data points, you can even grab the edge of them and make them longer. Well, let me click off so I don't have all of them. So if you want to make it more consistent, you can certainly do that by adjusting the length of the notes. Or you could even move them around if you wanted to. When you're happy with the result, go up to the drop-down menus, click on File, and then Save. Once you do that, you can X out of the window, and you should notice that the file you saved shows up on the desktop. Now, this next step is very important before you submit your project. If you look on the bottom left corner of your QWERTY keyboard, you'll see the Control key. Press and hold the Control key down, then come over and click on the Logic icon. You'll see a pop-up window, and in this pop-up window, you want to click on Compress. Once you click Compress, you'll see a file that appears, and these are called zip files. This is the file that you're going to turn in to the assignment in Google Classroom. Now, if you go to your Google Classroom assignment, open that assignment, select Add File, and if you drag and drop this file into that assignment, wait for it to upload, then submit, and you've completed this part of the assignment. I hope you enjoy creating your harmony tracks, and I look forward to hearing what you come up with.